Welcome to Compassion Speaks, where we give a voice to the nonprofits in the White Mountains. I'm your host, Kevin Weaver, and today we have with us Michael Granillo.
Granillo, yep.
Michael Granillo, he's from the Mountain Christian School. Michael Granillo, welcome.
Thank you.
My grandchildren have been attending Mountain Christian School for the last couple of years. Well, Logan's a third grader. Jane just started. He's a kindergartner. And it dawned on me that Mountain Christian School is a not-for-profit.
Right.
And so that's why Michael, the principal, is here with us today. So we'll start out with, the history of Mountain Christian School. Because, you know, frankly, I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Mountain Christian School is in its 12th year.
12th year.
And it was started by a group of parents who wanted a choice for their kids' education. And the only reason I know that is because my wife was one of those parents.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
I actually am a public school teacher. I was a public school teacher. I taught math for 14 years at Blue Ridge High School.
Okay.
So I wasn't too excited about it.
Yeah.
Private school. You know,
Right,
I was a public
right.
school guy. But my wife had other thoughts. I said, yeah, you know, whatever, you can do that, whatever. But anyway, they got it started. So that was back in 2006, I believe.
Okay.
And the group of them, they got help from a retired principal, Christian school principal down in Tucson, and got the school started. There was about 38 students, I think, the first year, K through 8. And they had a little bit of a rocky road with their leadership, with the administration. They had 3 principals in the first 2 years. And then they asked me, that's when they asked me to take on the principal, and I had never been a principal.
Okay.
I had my principal's certification and stuff like that. But I, for some reason, said yes, and that was 10 years ago.
Okay. So Principal Mike,
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that you maybe were opposed to it in the beginning?
Yeah, I think I was.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I was a little opposed to it. But God had other plans.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say. And since that time, I mean, I still have a great appreciation for public school.
Absolutely.
But I also now see the benefits of a private education.
Well, then you're leading me, the benefits of a private education.
Well, you know, depending on where your background is from, obviously the first thing is that it's a Christ-centered environment.
Right.
We have curriculum from Christian publishers. We can talk about God. We can pray with the kids. We have worship songs. They learn memory verses, things like that. So that's kind of the obvious thing. But from an academic standpoint,
Sure.
there's some advantages too. One, we have small class sizes.
Yeah.
In public school, there's so many mandates and groups of people that you have to attend to, right? So your dollars actually get spread pretty thin.
I get you.
And in private school, you know, we don't have any special services. We just have the kids that we have, and that's who we attend to. And we're averaging about 14, 15 students per class.
Per class.
That's a lot of attention that a kid gets,
Absolutely.
you know, from each teacher.
So you don't have private programs. That leads me to my next question. But before that, do you have to be a Christian to attend Mountain Christian School?
No, no, you don't. The board set it up where that is not necessarily the case. We do have a statement of faith.
Right.
And a parent has to agree that they know the statement of faith and they're not necessarily opposed to it, but they do not.
They don't have to really agree to or subscribe to it.
Right, they don't have to
Excellent,
subscribe
excellent.
to it, yeah.
So you said there are no special programs, and my mind automatically goes to like special education.
Right.
So are there handicapped special needs children? Are they allowed to come?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you can accommodate.
With that same caveat though, like we don't have special programs, so we're gonna help that student as much as we can, but
So
there's not any special things that we're gonna do for that
But
student.
they're automatically integrated into just a
Absolutely.
regular classroom.
Yeah, we have a student in a wheelchair.
Excellent.
We have students with learning needs and
okay,
things like
good,
that.
good,
So,
good.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent.
Yep.
So you said, well, how long have you been there?
Yeah, so this is my 10th year.
Oh, so you came just
year.
shortly after it started.
Yeah,
So you
pretty-
weren't too opposed.
No, I mean, it got, you know, God worked on me.
Well, man, I know this is tough, but I want to pick on that a little bit. You know, the God thing. I mean, what happened? What changed your mind?
Well, honestly, it was a combination of things. It just so happened in those first 2 years, we had some leadership changes at our school that I was working at, and I was getting frustrated with some of the things that were happening. Things were getting a little political,
Okay.
and I was kind of getting frustrated with some of that. So it
Kind of looking for a change anyhow,
yeah,
maybe.
it was kind of like, I can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
At this point, and so this presented itself. So
Excellent, excellent.
yeah.
So your wife is one of the founders of the school?
Yeah, yeah.
More or less. Is she involved? Is she a teacher?
No, she has been a teacher, and she is. I'm sorry, she is a teacher. She has been a teacher at the school, but right now she's a teacher at Blue Ridge.
Oh, I gotcha.
So, but once I took the job as a principal, she had to step off the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got that. I got
yeah.
that. Oh. Your children go to Mount Christian?
My daughter was in the first kindergarten class.
Oh, very good.
And so she went all the way through, and now she's a junior at Blue Ridge High School.
So Mount Christian is kindergarten through 8th grade.
Yeah.
What's your experience with children transitioning from the private education to the public situation?
You know, the transition hasn't been too bad. You know, obviously in a small school, you have a very small circle of friends.
Right.
Which has its positives and negatives,
Sure.
right? I mean, it's almost like brother and sister type stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're so close that sometimes they get a little more arguments than you might.
Do they fight?
Otherwise, not. I mean, they argue a little bit, but that also the close tight knit family atmosphere also is a good thing too, because then they
Right.
can lean on each other.
That's true.
Now we have students that go to both Blue Ridge and Sholo,
Right.
and I think we've had students who have done very well. We've had a couple of students who have been valedictorian at the high schools.
Excellent.
Yeah, they do really well, and we've had some students who have struggled as well, but I think they probably would have had some struggles anyway.
Right.
And so, but for the most part, our students have done very well academically,
Right.
socially, going on to the high schools.
Yeah, because when they enter high school, they have to take all that standardized testing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll date myself. I used to be Ames testing. I
Yeah.
don't know what
Oh,
they
wow.
call it.
Yeah, that's old. We've gone through several names since.
Yeah, they have, but the students seem to be prepared.
Yeah. Well, we take now it's the AZ merit test.
Right.
And our students take that as well.
Oh, okay.
And I do that mainly just to kind of keep tabs, but our students do very well on that test.
Yeah. So I mean, I know you're biased, but do you think are they getting? Can I ask this? Do you think they're getting a better education? I know that's pretty broad.
It is broad.
But I mean, because I'm thinking of a small classrooms. I'm thinking of individualized attention. I'm thinking of. Let me put it this way. It seems like students are there more because they want to be, as opposed to public school where it's just what we do.
Yeah, I think parents a lot of times bring their students to our school because they want a little more attention, and there's the Christian side of things. But
Right.
I would say it to you this way: Are
Yeah.
there students in the public school who are high achieving academic students? Absolutely.
Of course.
And there's a lot wider range of students from that top. Whereas I feel like our students are more average on up because of that attention
I gotcha.
that they get.
I gotcha.
We have very strong students, but so does the public school.
Right.
But just for the use of everyday terms, our lower students, I think, do better than the lower
Okay.
students at the public school.
The teachers in a private school, they're all certified teachers?
There is no state law about it.
Okay.
As a private school, because we take no money from the state or federal government,
Oh, okay.
we can do pretty much whatever we want.
Oh.
Which sounds bad. Like, hey, we do. But our school board put into place that all the teachers would be certified either through a state certification program,
Okay.
or through there's an organization called the Association of Christian Schools,
Okay.
and they have a teaching program as well.
Excellent.
And so they either have to be certified through that, or on their way towards certification.
That type of certification, is that an online thing, or do they have to go to a?
Both. I mean,
It is
it's got both
So
components.
somebody like me could teach in the school?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, maybe not someone like you, but no. I'm just kidding.
Touche. So how do you guys get your funds? You receive
Yeah.
no federal funding?
No federal
state funding?
Right.
How do you get your money?
Private schools charge tuition.
Yeah. There you
You
go.
know, and that's the thing that makes it hard. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I really wish we didn't have to charge tuition, because I really think we do a really good job of teaching kids. And just to go back to speak to your earlier point, our teachers are all certified.
Yeah.
And the vast majority are certified from a state certification program.
Right.
So they could all be teaching in public schools as well. But we have to charge tuition. And luckily there are organizations out there that give scholarships.
Right.
There's also the Arizona Tuition Tax Credit,
Okay.
which is a great program. So we get state funds sort of indirectly.
Right.
Because people can designate their own state tax dollars
Right.
to this organization, and so there is that avenue to have tuition paid for. But a lot of people just have to pay the money.
Yeah. Can I ask you what it costs?
$4,800 this year.
Per student?
Yeah, per student.
Okay.
There's multi-student discounts.
Of course.
And we've tried really hard over the years to keep that number down. Most schools, if you go down to the valley or whatever, elementary school tuition's probably closer to $7,000.
Yeah. Maybe kind of a dumb question or awkward question. The teachers and all paid staff? Any volunteers?
We have volunteers that come in and maybe read with kids or
Just
something.
maybe parents?
Yeah. Grandparents or
Right.
retired people. But everybody else, from our PE teacher, music teacher, all the way through we have an aide, office staff, they're all paid.
Do you do anything to recruit volunteers?
Not really.
Are you interested in volunteers?
We don't, with the small class sizes, we don't really
have room.
Yeah, a whole lot of need.
I gotcha.
Like I said, we have some volunteers who come in to maybe read with kids,
right,
on an individual basis or something like that. So that's about it for volunteers. We have a lot of parents. We do require parents to volunteer.
Right.
They have to do 25 hours a year of volunteer time, and so that could be in the classroom. That could be helping with fundraisers.
And that's true.
Like
and my children are not good at that. So I encourage you to put some pressure on me as a grandpa.
Yeah.
I would love to be more involved.
Okay.
Tell me how to do
Maybe
that.
Maybe come and speak at our chapel service.
I would love
to.
Man, I would be thrilled to do that. I really would. And so we're running out of time. And I told Principal Mike that he could beg a little bit for money. I don't know if beg's the right term, but folks, there are students out there that probably need help.
Yeah.
With their tuition.
Yeah, we get some people who come in who maybe their kids are struggling at the public schools and they're looking for another option.
Yeah.
But the finances are tough.
Yeah.
And so we are a 501c3, and so you could do a donation. But the biggest thing I would get educated on the Arizona Tuition Tax Credit.
There you go.
It's a great way to redesignate your state tax dollars to help a student be able to get some more personalized education.
Okay. If folks are interested in doing that, how do they contact you?
They can contact us at our office. 537-1050 is the phone number, or our website is www.mcsaz.org.
Excellent. Yeah. Just about out of time. I really appreciate you coming.
Absolutely.
I dragged him in here last minute, and he's been very accommodating, very informative. For those of you who are watching right now, you stay tuned because we're going to come right back with a couple of students from Mountain Christian School. Principal Mike, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. Joining us now from Mountain Christian School are Ella and Quentin. Ella and Quentin are 8th graders, right?
Yes, sir.
Mountain Christian School. And so let's ask you a few personal things real quick. How long, or are you guys both from this area? Quentin, where are you from?
I'm from here.
So you're from here?
Yeah.
So you're born and raised in Show Low?
Yes, sir.
And have you been in Mountain Christian School how long?
Since kindergarten. So this is my 9th year at Mountain Christian.
Okay, so you started in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Miss Ella, are you from this area?
No, actually, from kind of all over the country, really. We were in Houston last, and I attended public school there.
Okay, so Houston, and where else? You said kind of all over the country. Where else you
Chicago.
Been? Chicago. Go Cubs. Oh, you said you're not a baseball fan. Oh, come on, everybody loves the Cubs.
My uncle loves the Cubs.
So how long have you been here?
About a year so far.
And so this is your first year with Mountain Christian.
It is.
Is this your first experience with private school?
It is.
And so you're an old hat at it. That's all you've known is private school. Well, this is good. We got a little contrast going here. Well, let me ask you this: do you guys like private school?
Yeah.
Do you? Now, this is your second year,
Oh, this is my first year.
so you've only been at Mount Christian for a couple of months. You just got started. Can you compare it? How is it to public school? What do you like about it?
I like the individualized education where
Yeah.
you get paid a lot more attention to than you do in public school, especially in a big city.
Yeah, and I mean, Houston, Chicago, those are big cities. I mean, we're a drop compared to those places.
A little bit, yeah.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I think everybody likes that individualized attention. I could ask you that. I can't ask you that. How does it compare? Because you don't know. But do you feel, I mean, do your parents make you go to public school or private school? Do you have a choice in the matter?
I do have a choice. I enjoy it because I have more of a relationship with the teachers.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah. You know, and that is important stuff because really it's all about relationships and learning to grow together as, you know, classmates and, that teacher and adult student or child relationship. So are you guys, I mean, what do you do? I'm sure the classroom is the classroom. You have, you know, spelling and math and all those kinds of things. But a smaller private education, what about sports and extracurricular activities? Do you have any of those?
I participate in cross country, and we have 4 sports. We have cross country, volleyball, basketball, and soccer throughout the year.
Who do you compete against?
Well, there's a league. It's called the Desert Pine Sports League, and we're with a bunch of other private schools around the area.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. Are you involved in anything, Miss Ella?
I think I'm going to do basketball this year.
Oh.
And I'm also involved in yearbook and a computers class we have currently,
Uh-huh.
and student council.
Student. Yeah, you mentioned you guys are both on student council.
Yeah.
President and secretary?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the president. I understand that President Quinton, kind of, can I say no, you're not a hothead.
No,
What do you mean
I
about,
wouldn't say
what
that.
was it about abusing the gavel?
He enjoys power
He enjoys
Yes.
power.
very much.
So student council pretty much just like regular school?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, what do you do at student council? What kinds of things go on there?
We plan different events.
Uh-huh.
We're currently doing a box top competition between the different classes, like many public schools do.
Okay.
Um,
You mean box top like you cut off of
Like a cereal box
Cereal
or
box.
something.
What happens with the box tops? What do you do with them?
You raise money for the school. Each of them is worth 10 cents for the school. And you get, like each class, we made a chart, and the class who wins the most gets like a prize.
Oh, I
And
got
so
you.
it's a competition.
Okay, okay. So what kind of events are you planning for your school year? And this is October. What's up and coming?
We have a pep rallies for the sports.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, so we can get more people at the sports events.
Okay.
And we have a spirit week coming in November, I think. And
Okay.
I think that's the kids' favorite week. It's fun.
yeah.
So what happens at Spirit Week? What kinds of things you do?
Like different themes for different days. The
Crazy hair day.
Yeah.
Oh, like wear your
sports
pajamas
day.
school day. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
yeah, it's fun.
okay, excellent. Well, tell me, give me just a quick, and for the folks who are watching, a rundown of, I mean, what is a day like at Mountain Christian School? You don't start out like regular school. If I'm not mistaken, you guys start out with like a chapel service?
On Thursdays.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do a chapel service on Thursday morning.
Okay, so that's just once a week that you do it. In private school, do you guys like pledge allegiance and
We do the Pledge of
all
Allegiance.
those kinds of things? Do you pray in private school?
Yeah, every
Yes.
morning our teacher asks us for prayer requests, and then she writes them on the board, and then we pray about them together.
Well, how do you guys feel about that?
It's good. It's
Is it
nice
good?
to know that
So-
others are praying for you.
Yeah, it's not, even if you don't claim to be a Christian, it is nice to know that somebody cares about you.
Yeah.
And I think of it in terms of that. Of course, I'm a Christian as well, and so I do believe in praying for people. But if nothing else, I mean, we can be thoughtful with people, and having people on our mind and thinking of them, especially with a lot of things that are going on. We just witnessed or heard of all that went on in Las Vegas, and it's nice to pray for those people. It's nice to think about those people. It's kind of like putting somebody before yourself.
Yeah.
That's important. That's important. So, you guys. Oh, I know what I want to ask you. Mountain Christian School. What are you known as? Tigers, lions, cougars.
We're the Lions.
You're the Lions. Mountain Christian School. Do you have like a song that you sing, a theme song, a motto? No, you don't roar. Or...
We do have a mascot and a cheerleading group who comes on at half times for the games and stuff.
Oh, that's awful fun, huh?
Yeah, it is fun.
So, yeah. Well, tell me more about it, Mountain Christian School. What are you taking for classes?
We have a Bible class.
We have a Bible class, language arts, geography, math, the usual science, history. And then there's also a computers class and a yearbook, along with PE and choir.
Uh-huh. So you go for like a full day of school, just like everybody. How do you get to school? You don't ride buses or anything?
No, we don't have
have
buses.
No buses. Do you walk to school?
We could.
You could if you live close enough, but usually it's just
Mom
a car
just
ride
drives
online.
me.
Yeah. Do you have to bring your own lunches? Do you have a cafeteria? What's lunch like?
We have a hot lunch on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And you get your choice of whatever restaurants in the area.
Oh, the
that was
restaurants.
specified for that day.
Oh, they're like the restaurants deliver and. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that idea. What was
Today we had Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Hey, that's a good idea.
It's yummy.
You get free tacos when Diamondbacks. Oh, you don't watch baseball. So you're both in 8th grade, and so that means next year you go to public school.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be going to school, Quentin?
I'm going to Blue Ridge High
To Blue
School.
Ridge? How about you, Ella?
I don't know
You don't-
yet.
Where do you live?
We're going to move again.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm not sure. Tennessee or Mississippi.
Oh,
I
my
think.
goodness.
So,
Well, this is kind of an aside, but are your folks military or something?
no, my dad works for the railroad, so we have to move.
Oh, I gotcha. So, you guys each have siblings?
Yes.
I'm an only child.
You're an only child? Well, boy, you get to move. Well, it's good that you've been with us, and we wish you guys the best. Upcoming events, you've got the Pep Assembly, but I know you always also put on a kind of a big production at the end of the year. I know this is a little soon, but it's some type of a play. Do you guys write and produce? Do you pull that stuff in from over there? I mean, where do you come up with the ideas for that?
Our choir director picks the musical that we're doing, and then she has the 5th through 8th graders audition for the parts, and then they get the parts. And then each day in choir class, we work on each person says their lines or whatever, and then it kind of at the end, right before it, we build it up, and the whole school does the production together.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch. Of course, my grandsons are there, and so we go to the productions, and also I've been to like chapel services, and the way you guys, you quote scripture, and it sounds like you're very involved in your faith as well. Do you find that most of the kids are pretty much all on the same wavelength, so to speak there? Yeah, everybody gets along real good, and sounds like the place to be.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Okay, any questions for me? Anything you want to add? We don't need to drag this out. You guys have done a fabulous job. I appreciate you being here, but anything more you want to say?
No, just
No?
thank you for
having us.
inviting us.
Oh, you're so welcome. And you want to sing a song from last year's
no.
performance, huh? He's acting all shy, but this guy is like all over the stage. I've seen him perform a couple times, and I look forward. I'm sure I'll see you guys again soon. I shared with your principal that I would love to come and maybe share in some chapel services and get a little more involved. I appreciate you guys, and I thank you for coming. And I really, really wish you the best in your lives, in your career, and I just pray and hope that everything you do, everything you touch, that you prosper in it and that you guys do well. So,
you.
Miss Ella, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
you
you.
for being here. Thank you for tuning in today and watching Compassion Speaks.